Hello guys, it's Teresa with Critters Crochet, and today is Tuesday, and it is time for Tutorial Tuesday. We are working on a scrapghan, and I'm getting this together because I want to show you what we've gotten to so far, but it's getting so big I can't hold the whole thing up, so I'm going to do it in little pieces. Here we go. Get that other piece of yarn out of the way. Move. There. All right, here it is. I am loving this blanket. There is week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 was the fillet. That was last week. So here it is so far. I am loving it. And this is the beginning of week 13. It's made up of V stitches, half double crochet V stitches, and 3 double crochets together. So it's V's, 3 double crochet cluster, V stitch. Just repeat those 2. It's called the Zig Zag Lozenge. What a name, huh? But I show you the book and everything in this video coming up. And so this week, this is what we've done so far, and I'm really loving this blanket. So next week, I've said this in the other part of the video, but you'll hear this again in the other part of the video. But I think that we may do one more week of this scrapghan, and then I'm going to let you be on your own to repeat some of the stitches and make it the size you want, because I need to get going on Christmas stuff. I am so far behind, and I don't know if I'm going to get it all done, but I've got a commissioned order that I have got to do, so it's getting holiday crunch time. So we will have one more week next week of the Tutorial Tuesday scrapghan, and then we're going to move on to something else. Okay? So just wanted to come on and let you know that, and I will see you tomorrow for Wearable Wednesday. I'm starting something new, so stay tuned for that. I love you guys, and also at the end of this video you will see a clip from, let me look on here. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm telling you right and I haven't told you something wrong. No, I think I was trying to think. I think I've already. No, that's not it. Nope, I've already shown it. So I don't have anybody's to show on here. I wanted to be sure I wasn't losing my mind on that one. So what I'd like to happen for next week is, guys, if you have been working with me and following along with the scrapghan make along, send me pictures of your progress so I can show them on next week's video. Because we're coming to the end of this and I want to see your progress. Next week's video, I will be putting out what I need you guys to do for the end of the scrapghan make along, and I will see you again tomorrow for Wearable Wednesday. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Well, hello everyone. It's Teresa with Critters Crochet, and here we are with stitch number 13 of our scrapghan make along, and today's stitch is called the Zig Zag, and you all can help me with this. Lozenge. I'm guessing that's lozenge. I'm not sure exactly if that's the right pronunciation or not, but here you go. And it is in Let me show you the cover. The book will be linked in the description box, but I'm getting these stitches out of the Crochet Stitch Dictionary, 200 stitches, and it's by Sarah Hazel. And this is stitch number 92 in the book, and it's again called the Zig Zag Lozenge, and this is what it looks like. Very pretty. We're going to see for next week how this does on my blanket, but I may have this week and then one more week, and then if you need to, you can just go back and do repeat rows of the other stitches that we've done. You can go through and look at the playlist for the scrapghan, and if you need to look at those stitches again, and just repeat some of the stitches, because what's happening is I need to get busy on Christmas stuff, and I should have already started on some things long before now, but I wanted to get going on this scrapghan. So I think we'll do this week, and then we'll have one more week, and then you guys can finish up. And what I'd really love is for you guys to show pictures of your finished projects so that I can post them with these videos. So anyway, let's go ahead, and I will talk more about that next week. But let's go ahead and work on this Zig Zag Lozenge. It's super easy. It's V-stitches and clusters. So grab your hook, your yarn, and your project, and meet me right back here in just a minute, and we will get started. Okay, here we are, guys. We are back. And what I've done is I have started this. Let me get my yarn in my hand here. What I've done is I started this on the chain 3 from the last row of our lattice work, our fillet stitches that we were doing. So I went to the top of this starting chain and connected my yarn and did a chain of 2. And then what we're going to do next is we are going to, let me look on here. I'm going as I go. We're going to chain 2, and then in that same space where we attached our yarn, we're going to do a half double crochet. And this is going to count as our first V-stitch, okay? Our first, this is going to count as the first V-stitch. So you have your chain of 2 and then a half double crochet in the base of that same chain, and that gives us our first V-stitch. And then what we're going to do for the rest of this pattern is we are going to do another in the next stitch. We're not going to, or excuse me, we're going to skip one stitch, and in the next stitch, we're going to skip this stitch. In the next one, we're going to do a half double crochet, a chain 1, and a half double crochet. That is the V-stitch for this pattern. So a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, and I'm sorry that that camera is shaking. Okay, so this is going to be pretty. I pulled this one out and it's got a little bit of a sparkle to it, so you're going to see some sparkle today. So that is the repeat. All you're going to do all the way across is you're going to skip a stitch, go into the next one and do your half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet in the same space and make your V-stitch. Skip a stitch, and then another, and now this one comes to the space in our fillet. You can go right into the space, or you can go into that chain. For me, it's just easier to go in the space, so I'm going to do a half, chain 1, and a half in that space. If you come to a space, just do it that way. It's just, to me, it's just easier. Okay, skipping that double crochet, and then we're back into the space again. So half, chain 1, half. Let me get past these spaces and I will show you. Skipping the double, we're at a space again. So half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet in that same space. And then we get to our solid portion of the top of that fillet that we did from last week, and it's just skip a stitch and do your half double crochet V-stitch in the next one. Half, chain 1, half. Okay, skip a stitch, skip this stitch into the next one, half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet. So continue to do this all the way to the end, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay guys, we are back at the end of the first row. Now on the directions it tells you to do this and to make your V's until you get to the last 2 stitches. Well, I actually have 3 on mine because I have a stitch here, I have the chain 1, and then I have the final double crochet. So what I'm going to do is, and we're going to do a little fudging. If yours turns out to be 2, then that's fine. But what you want to do is I'm going to skip over and I'm going to put 2 half double crochets in this last stitch. So that's what you want to do in the last stitch, whether you have to fudge it a little or maybe you have 2 left, depending on how long your project is. You're just going to put 1, well, get my hook in there, 2, and you're going to end your row with 2 half double crochets, okay, just like we did at the beginning. Now for the second row, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn our work. Okay, so now we are going to work on cluster stitches for this row. Let me get everything situated here. And what you're going to do is you're going to put let's see, I want to make sure, yeah, you're going to put the same space where your chain is, you're going to put another double crochet. So we've chained 3 and we're going to put a double crochet right beside it in the same stitch. What that's going to do is that's going to mimic a double crochet cluster, okay? 3 double crochet cluster. And so what we're going to do then is we're going to chain 1, and we are going to skip over this right here, and we're going to go into the space of our first V. Okay, you can see these right here. Here's the top of the V that we started in, and here's the second one. We're going to go in the space of that V, and we're going to place a 3 double crochet together. So what you want to do for that is you yarn over and insert your hook in the V, yarn over, and you want to go through 2 like you're starting your double, but don't finish it. Yarn over again, go back into that V, bring up a loop, pull through just 2. That's the second time, and now we're going to go in the third time, pull through 2, and then you will have 4 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. That will give you that 3 double crochets together. All right, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to chain 1 to lock in that cluster. All right, and then we're going to go into the very next V, and this is your repeat. All right, let's see, and we're going to do this all the way till you get to the last V. So let me show you that again. Yarn over, insert into your next V stitch into the space, pull through 2 loops and stop. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2 and stop. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through 2. You will have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, and there's your next cluster. Chain 1 and go right into your next V. So we're going to do these clusters all the way down to the end until you get to your final space. Let me pull my monstrosity of a blanket up here and show you. You're going to go do this all the way down until you get to where you did the chain, or the 2 where the chain, listen to me, I'm looking at the wrong picture, where until you get to where you made yeah, you have a chain and your half. I'll get it right in a minute, I had to look back. This final space, here's your V stitch, and then your final one at the end. I want you to do your clusters all the way, and I'll meet you back at this final cluster. Okay everybody, I am back to my last 2 V stitches, and we're going to put a cluster in each one. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then our final cluster, 1, 2, 3. Whoop. All right, we have our final cluster in that last grouping. So for row 3, we're going to chain 2. Now this is our repeat, guys. We have a V-stitch row and a cluster row. V-stitch, cluster, V-stitch, cluster, back and forth. So whenever you start a V-stitch row, you're going to chain 2. When you start your cluster row, you're going to chain 3. So for your V-stitch row, you chain 2. And then, unlike row 1 where we first started, we did a V right here. What we're going to do for row 3 is you're going to do a chain 2, but you're going to skip and you're going to go into the space in between these two, the two clusters. So we chain 2 and turn our work. And the V-stitches from now on, sorry, let me get back into frame here. From now on, instead of doing another V-stitch here, you're going to skip over. We're just going to have that chain 2 to start. And we're going to come right over here to the space between our first 2 clusters. And this is where you're going to do your half double crochet, chain 1, and half double crochet all in that same space to make your V-stitch. And then all you're going to do is you're going to put a V-stitch in every space across. Okay? And I will see you at the end of row 3. Okay, everybody, so we're at the end of row 3, and I am at the end. I went in the last space between my last 2 clusters with the V-stitch. And so what you want to do then, you want to do your final, well, I'm looking on the pattern here. Yeah, you want to go and do a final half double crochet. Let's see. Yeah, you go to your turning chain and you want to do, I had to look back at the directions to make sure I was telling you right. So you've got your chain and your double right here for that cluster. You're going to finish this row with a V-stitch in that final space, and then a half double crochet in the top of your turning chain from the previous row. And that will end off your row number 3. Okay, so for row 4, you're going to chain 3, 2, 3, and turn your work. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go to that V-stitch, that first V-stitch, and in here, and you're going to just go immediately in to doing a cluster. So yarn over, just do half of your double, and do that 2 more times. 1, 2, 4 loops on your hook, pull through all 4, chain 1, and then your pattern for this round is just a cluster in the middle of each V-stitch. And guys, that's your repeat for the rest of the blanket. Okay, you will have, let me get my light on here a little better. You will have you will do a chain 3 when you're on a cluster row, and you will do a chain 2 on your V-stitch rows. Okay, your clusters go in the middle of your V-stitches. Okay, that's where your clusters go, right in the middle of your V's. And then when you do your clusters, sorry, and then your V-stitches go in between your clusters. Okay, V is in between the clusters, clusters in the middle of each V. And so you just repeat those over and over until you get the length that you want. So I really like this pattern. I think it's going to be very pretty with this blanket. And so yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to measure this after I get my width that I want. And next week may be our last week, guys, because like I said, I really need to get into the Christmas stuff and get things done there. And we've got Spirit Week coming up that I've got to work on, so a lot happening. So we'll see what next week brings. But guys, send me your pictures. I would really love to show all our subscribers the awesome work that you guys are doing with these stitches. So before next before next Tuesday, send me pictures of your progress so I can post them on the videos, and we will talk to you soon. Bye guys.